Hi there. Welcome to Online Statistics for the spring of 2024. I am your instructor, Scott Davis. I prefer to be called Scott, but if you feel more comfortable calling me Professor or Mr. Davis, that is okay with me. I wanted to record this video to give you a quick run through of the course, take you through Moodle, which we will hardly ever use in this class, and then MyOpenMath, which is where most of the class's content is going to be housed. I know that in an online format, we don't get to interact a ton, but I'll try to send out weekly update emails, kind of keeping you on track. And if you ever have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out or come to my office hours - tutoring hours. I will make those available once they are set. We're going to start now. Quick little walkthrough of our Moodle page. Again, very little is here. There's a course that University of Montana made on how to be a successful online student. And our course syllabus will be down here, in addition to the welcome email I've sent out and a copy of this video, and a document on advice on how to be a successful online student. Here is a little bit of information about me. My office is in room 425. If you ever need it, I will hold all of my tutoring / office hours in the Learning Center, which is in the basement of the Missoula College building. If you ever do want to try and set an individual appointment, give me your availability the next 24 to 48 hours so I can find a time that meets for both or that works for both of us. And again, my drop-in tutoring hours, I will post them here. Those work great for me. And finally, tutoring resources. So some links to the Mountain Campus Tutoring Learning Center, Office for Student Success, etc. Other than that, textbook MyOpenMath, this is where we are going to be. There's a video on getting started on MyOpenMath. This will be updated by the time you're taking this class. I haven't created it yet because I'm still working on like the template course, getting some of that information finalized. But this will be here and you'll enter that and use the enrollment key math is cool, no caps. That will bring you to our course, which will look essentially like this. Right, this is my template version of the class. I'm going to put it in student view. Yours will say Spring Online Stats 2024 once it is set up. So weekly announcements. I will post copies of all of the weekly emails I make here. Then the way that this class works, first say start here. This is the orientation video, which will be updated. The syllabus, which again will be updated. A lesson that is required about before you start on the content. Again, this is just kind of getting you used to what to expect in the course, and a video about uploading work. Please watch this video and come back to it multiple times as you're working on your turn-in homework so you don't forget the expectations for your turn-in homework. I believe that communicating in a math class is as important as your answers, in this class especially. And so not just does this show you how you can upload your work, it tells you how you're supposed to interpret values, which you will be asked on your homework. Please don't be upset if you get marked down because you didn't watch this video and you didn't understand the expectations when you're interpreting values. Syllabus quiz will be due within the first couple of weeks. It'll be available here. And here is a video I like to post, completely optional. Alan Watts, I always show it on the first day of class. So if you're into that kind of thing, I recommend it. Some information about our textbook, how to use MyOpenMath. Here's a section or a little area for you can introduce yourselves. I'd love if you all wanted to tell me a little bit about yourself. If you want to answer any of these questions, great. The starting point. If not, to just say whatever resonates with you that you might want your classmates to know. There's another folder on student success advice. We will be using CodeApp, and feel free to explore those resources if you want. I don't want to go through all of it. This video shouldn't be there, so you can ignore that. I did want to go into the syllabus, but before that, I want to show you a few things. First, The gradebook, it doesn't show up right now as if I were an instructor and I clicked on the gradebook. You can see all of the assignments that are already built in. The turn-in homeworks will all be there, will all be populated. Your exams will all be populated. But you can always click on the gradebook to see where you're at any point in the class. You can also click on the calendar, which will be updated to remind you of all of the due dates. Almost all of your assignments will be due on Sundays, so giving you through the weekend to complete those assignments. My advice, if you want to reach out for help to me, do it during the week because I am also a person that likes to do things on the weekend. If you email me Sunday at 6 p.m. when the assignment's due at midnight, you are probably not going to get a response. So the gradebook, the calendar, if you ever need to message me, there's a section for messages, forums, like getting to know your classmates. But let's go into the syllabus. Apologize, this video is not the most interesting. Here's the spring version. Here's our updated syllabus here. So same sort of information, room 25. My hours will be updated once I have them for my tutoring. Description of the course, prerequisites, learning outcomes. A big purpose of this class is to be able to describe data numerically, graphically, and create probability models, and then use those probability models to make predictions or make decisions. We are going to be using CodeApp, which is a free online software. If you have a TI-84 calculator, that would be very helpful. If it's not required, as long as you have some sort of calculator. There are some free emulators online that you can download. I'm not going to give any recommendations, just know that these calculators tend to be a little bit more helpful, but I've posted other online resources to do pretty much any calculation that you might want. Some of the sections also have instructional video on using Excel. So I don't really mind what piece of technology you use, as long as you tell me where your answers came from. So I can always kind of check your numbers and check for potential mistakes. Our textbook is online and it is free, as is the online homework. That's a major benefit of using MyOpenMath. It's no extra expense to you. The downside is the questions are piecemeal. They're written by other instructors, and so there sometimes are little variations in how questions are being asked, or the notation that's being used, or the rounding expectations. If there's ever issues, please just email me on MyOpenMath. There's a button you can click to message your instructor, and it'll take me right to that question. So the class is asynchronous. You will have set due dates for each of the lessons to make sure that you're working through the material at an appropriate pace, but please don't wait until the last minute to try and finish the entire lesson. You are given a week or so. Often these lessons take a couple weeks to get through in an in-class setting. So if you only give yourself 4 or 5 hours at the end of the weekend, you are going to be very challenged to get through the material successfully. I always recommend reading ahead and just being on top of your work. As you work through the content within each section, my advice right here is to skim through the textbook. You can you don't need a full understanding, but you can see what the content is. You can see some example problems that you might come back to later. Then watch those videos within the section. And then start working the homework problems. The online homework first. Online homework is like your skills practice. And once you're finished with all of the online homework for that section, then get into the turn-in homework. Turn-in homework has higher expectations. There's actually work to be shown. Online homework is just skills practice. Can you get to the correct solution? Turn-in work, I want to make sure that you not only get the correct solution, but you can fully communicate how you get to that solution, as if I were one of your classmates reading your work when I was unsure how to get to the answer. If while you're working on the online homework, there are questions, you can reference the hints or the videos if there are any. And finally, reach out to me if you need it. I'll go into an assignment so you can see there's a button that says message instructor that you are able to use. So the grade will be 35% turn in homework. This is a very large percentage because that to me is one of the more important of assignments where you get to demonstrate your understanding, not just here's a right answer, but how did I get to that answer and being able to interpret or contextualize your numbers. We have 3 different unit exams after lessons 3, 7, and 9. They're each worth a third of 35%. And then 30% of your grade is online homework, and I will drop the 2 lowest scores, and I'll drop 1 low turn-in homework. Right, so you don't have to be perfect, but don't bank on dropping a bunch of assignments early. So there are a lot of small assignments. The online homework, there are 9 chapters, each with 3 to 4. So there's probably 30 to 40 online homework. And then trying to condense that all into one day is not advisable. Note that I will not accept late turn-in homework. So please don't wait until the last minute, because if you try to email me after due dates with turn-in homework, I will not accept it. After assignments are graded, I will have everything returned back. Once you have your assignment returned back, please review it. I give a lot of feedback on the turn-in homework with the intention of you take that feedback, you learn from it, and you improve for the following assignments. And of course, if you find some sort of grading error, please let me know. Or if you want to just contest the score that you got, you have a week after you get the assignment back. The grading scale is pretty typical, except for I do have a cutoff for a C- down to a 65. Giving you a little bit of a breather to still pass in this sort of high pace. I mean, it's a challenging course for sure. Your turn-in homework. So I'll show you where those are at. They're all on MyOpenMath. Mostly you are going to download a file. If you can print it off, that's preferred, or download it to a tablet or some laptop where you can then complete the assignment and then upload the final draft. I will then grade it on my tablet and send you the graded file back. So some of the online homework you will all have to upload like a graph image. Other times it will just be the file itself. But note that I don't want you to try and email me 4 individual pictures. If you ever are going to email pictures, put those pictures on a Word document and send me that Word document instead, so that I can download one individual file, write the feedback, and send it back. If you are unable to print or download the file onto your own device, and you're going to choose to use your own paper for the turn-in homework only, you have to rewrite the entirety of the questions. These questions have been written with specific instructions. There's a certain amount of space given to make sure that you have ample room. And if you are squeezing all of your work and not skipping lines and not rewriting the questions in their entirety, I will be taking points off. My preference is, again, you just print the assignment, complete it, and then scan and send me the file when you're done. There is a video kind of demonstrating how to upload work and what the expectations are. Please, please, please watch this video multiple times if necessary, so you don't forget what the expectations are. I don't accept late work on turn-in homework. Online homework, each section has a lot of different questions, and essentially you have unlimited attempts. Sometimes the questions are multiple choice. Please think about the answer. Don't just, submit, try and actually get them correct. If you attempt a question, I think 3 or 4 times, it will lock out, but then a new button will say, hey, can I, give me a similar version? It will reload the question and you'll be able to attempt it again. You can do that 99 times, giving you like 500 total submissions. You should never get anywhere near 500 submissions, though. Please reach out for help before that. If there's ever an issue with the homework, you think you did it right, please email me, message me, and I can give you points back very easily. Unit exams, these will be on MyOpenMath. The first 2 will be online. They'll look similar to your online homework, with the extra caveat that I want you to also submit your work. So I want a file of all of the calculations that you've done, showing me all of the work, not just getting the correct answer. This you can do on your own paper, just make sure that it's labeled. The third exam is a take-home exam, and there's a video with more information about that once you get there. In general, you have 3 hours to complete the exam. Once you start it, you get 1 attempt. So don't start the exam until you're ready. You will be able to do it at any point up to a certain due date. So don't feel like you have to do it on the last day at the last minute. Once the exam is open, you are allowed to begin it whenever you want. You will, before you take the exam, have to send me an honor statement, which is a bulleted list of promises to not cheat, essentially. So I will need a copy of that honor statement before both of the exams, and just a message letting me know that you are ready to take the exam. I will open the exam up in response, and then you can take it whenever works best for you. I highly recommend you check your email at least a couple times a week, since that's my only way of communicating with you during the term. I get work done early. The sooner you start working on it, the more you can ask me questions as they arise. And plan to spend 8 to 10 hours a week on this course. If we were in person, that would be 4 hours in the classroom plus the additional hours outside, which I would say 4 to 6 hours per week is a pretty bare minimum for the amount that you would take in an in-person class. So that's what you should probably anticipate each week in this class. See, so again, read through more. There's dates, disability modifications, misconduct, student hours, a bunch of resources. Again, please check through this, and then information on my open math. I will update this course ID once I have it again. And then finally, an approximate schedule. So note, nothing is due for lesson 1 until the 27th. That is because there's a lot of movement the first week of class. I would highly recommend getting started sooner than later. And so you can familiarize yourself with the system and work out any kinks that you might have. So your syllabus quiz and lesson 1, all of lesson 1 will be due by January 27th. And then you can see the approximate schedule. You can always submit assignments early. You can always work ahead. But just note, these are the final due dates. They are all published in advance, so don't say that they snuck up on you. You know when everything is due throughout the term. So here's all of those due dates. See, so I think the last thing I wanted to do is just show you an example of both the online homework and a turn-in homework. So I'm going to go to lesson 7 and just show you what online homework will look like. I got to go to the instructor view. So this is what your online homework will look like. This is section 7.1, normal distribution. So you'll just enter your values. There's some rounding. Again, instructions, you enter your values. Here, I'll give you, if I say 67, I'm wrong. I say 78, and I'm wrong. I say 567, and I'm still wrong. Now I can see the answer, and I can also click get a similar question. Something that's really cool is if I get one of these correct and the other one incorrect, and I click get a similar question, I won't lose points for going into practice mode. If you ever have, you can see that there's a question help down here. Click on that video for a little more assistance with the question itself, and message instructor if you need. And it will send a message directly to me. It will have this linked. One thing I ask is don't just say, hey, I'm confused. I need to know how far you've made it into this question. Because otherwise, if you just say, hey, I need help, I'm going to say, what work have you done so far? Because there's no reason for me to start at the beginning if you might be doing everything correct and just rounding at the very end. So there's no way for me to know that until you've shown me your work. So be sure that you always show me your work when you're asking me a question. This is what your homework will look like on My Open Math, the online. Sometimes there'll be multiple choice questions or select from drop downs. And then you'll have turn-in assignments. There will be a video giving some instructions on the turn-in assignment, and then the assignments will all be, so I have PDF form, I also have Word if that's a preferred file type. And these are physical files that, again, I expect you to print out or download, write on, and then resubmit. Or if you are unable to print, you need to write all of the words because, again, the instructions, the spacing, the specific words, including units, are all important. So if information is missing, I don't know if it's because you didn't see that information. Right, it's just good for me to be able to reference the instructions that I have given you on those assignments. There is one thing to know when you're in Unit 1, Lesson 2, within your turn-in assignment. So there will always be that assignment itself, right, which was linked here. And then inside, there will be a space for you to upload that file. So you got your scanned images, you upload that file here. This is an example where you also have to upload images. So from CODAP, you're going to create a histogram, you're going to upload it, type a couple sentences about the graph that you made. Same thing with a box plot here, and type a couple sentences about that data. So I think that's everything that I have for right now. There are a couple more videos as well before you get started. And as always, let me know if you have questions. Welcome to spring 2024. Hope you're ready to have some fun and learn a lot about statistics.